Hello everyone, this is Ross here. Thank you very much for tuning into another episode of Life Discussions. On this episode, I will be talking about proper social media etiquette and what I believe are the best ways to use social media. I will also be talking about breaking notable bad habits that many people on social media have, as well as providing some wake-up calls to the type of people who I feel misuse social media, and just providing tips to making it the best experience that you can. Social media to me is an absolutely amazing platform. From the first years of using it, starting with MySpace when I was 16, I loved it. I saw it as a great tool to connect with friends, as well as eventually make new friends worldwide, especially when I joined Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram among the next 6 years. However, admittedly, it wasn't always a great experience. Now, a lot of people, particularly news reporters, love to say that social media is a problem in the world. I believe that such a thought process like this is very biased, as overall social media has a lot more valuable uses than problems. Now, I understand that social media is not to everyone's liking. I understand that. However, this brings me to my first point: withholding our own egos and showing restraint. The main reason why I had some bad experiences before, and why I believe others do so regularly, is because it was largely due to my own ego, and feeling the need to reply to many people that I know I should not have. And this is something that I didn't want to admit at the time, and I'm sure nobody else wants to either. Taking part in such a large public forum, I often felt the need to validate myself somehow by attempting to win arguments with complete strangers, often over things that didn't even mean anything in the grand scheme of things. In my case, a notable example was fictional character fights. Also arguing about things that had absolutely nothing to do with our personal lives, such as professional athletes' personal lives or their contracts, or other things that we were not educated properly on. You can see just how ridiculous all of this is. So with that all said, I firmly believe that social media is not the problem. It is actually the people who use it incorrectly and behave in ridiculous ways. If we look within ourselves, think logically, have common sense, good courtesy, and behave professionally with proper morals and values, much like we should offline, then social media becomes an absolutely incredible and tremendous experience. Now, there will be many times when you will see a comment or a post online that you have strong feelings against, and this can often be a hateful statement of personal attacks. Unless it is a statement that could potentially hurt your business and it's something that you really need to help clear up, or if someone is attacking someone that means a lot to you and you know that they will appreciate your support in the first place, and you wish to defend them, by all means, reply. But don't do so for anyone that won't care or appreciate you for doing so. And if you do feel the need to reply, do so in the best and most logical and respectful way possible that represents them and yourself properly. Don't go out of your way to treat the other person like garbage, because that would be sinking down to their miserable level, and we don't need to go out of our way to treat other people badly. Even if they do deserve it at times, in order to make ourselves feel better, we don't need to do that. State your case, move on, and then don't show that person any extra attention whatsoever. Block them straight away, because stupid behavior does not deserve extra attention. And whatever you do, don't let anyone's words or opinions offend you. If you know the truth and you feel secure about yourself, then there is absolutely no reason as to why anyone should be able to offend you. If you don't give them what they want by letting it happen, then it's not going to happen. Stay calm and don't sink to their level. Despite popular belief, it is not cowardly to block anyone with a negative or disgusting attitude, because it will make you feel better for not having to put up with it anymore. Another important thing to remember when defending someone is to make sure that you don't speak for them necessarily. I mean, you can state a case for them, but don't put words in their mouth or say things that you think that they would say necessarily, because it may not turn out well, and they are more than capable of defending and representing themselves properly anyway. The last thing that you want to do to someone is misquote them and risk potentially causing more harm than good. Now, as far as other statements go that are against what you believe, that are handled respectfully and aren't hateful, it makes no sense whatsoever to attack the person and label them things that they are not. A difference of opinion does not equal hatred, and it is very much possible to still be friends with people over different views. It is important to remember this and distinguish between respectful disagreements and general negativity, because there is definitely a big difference. Another important thing to remember about being on social media is that much like any other type of media, there will also be a lot of posts and articles that don't have any verified facts or information. They can be full of lies and propaganda. Be on the lookout and don't just accept any written post as fact, because there are people out there who will create lies, either intentionally or unintentionally, because they were fooled into believing something was true that wasn't. And of course, there are also people who will want to spread their agenda in an attempt to program your mind and way of thinking to match their mindset. Don't get fooled by anything. Now, social media is a wonderful tool for finding new friends and connecting with people that you are a fan of and that you look up to. However, keep in mind that certain people may not want to be included as a friend on your timeline, or may feel that it's best to remove themselves from you. If this happens, no matter the reason, just accept it and move on. Everyone has the right to cease contact if they feel it is the best thing to do for everyone involved. And while I wouldn't be flat out against it, I do recommend to not use social media if you're looking for a relationship. Because if something goes wrong, all it takes is a screenshot and then you could be in deep trouble. If you can trust yourself to keep restraint and be responsible, by all means, then try it. But personally, when I interact with female friends, I keep it friendly and professional because that way it's a lot safer. That being said, keeping friendly and professional is always a good idea, whether you're looking for a relationship or not. Social media is obviously a great tool to be able to connect with many celebrities online as well. However, no matter the temptation, don't spam the same messages over and over and beg for attention. Even if you are trying to be kind, so many people don't realize just how disrespectful this is, and no one appreciates having to read the same message numerous times over unnecessarily in their mentions or timelines. The same philosophy applies to anyone else too, whether they are famous or not. It is absolutely never a good idea to spam the same thing over and over and beg anyone for attention. And if they really care about hearing from you, you wouldn't have to beg. Don't take it personally if a high-profile person doesn't respond to you, because while a great majority of them will respond, there are also many who just use social media to promote themselves and their work, which is important to understand and respect. Now, sometimes you will find it is very possible to even have problems with friends. Some people enjoy posting about overly controversial things, and certain opinions may differ so much to yours to the point where you even find that that particular way of thinking is ludicrous at times. When this happens, the best thing to do is not reply, just simply keep scrolling and use the unfollow or mute options if need be. This is a tremendous way to help keep your timeline clean and will make your experience a lot better. Besides, you can always check in later on those people that you want to follow or remain friends with, without having to be bothered by the things that they post that you get tired of seeing. I also believe that it is common courtesy, whether it is someone you know or not, to not reply to anyone's differing opinion unless they specifically ask for it. I love to comment a lot on my friends' posts, and when I do, I add either words of encouragement, a light-hearted joke that I know won't be unappreciated, or add a few key points as to why I agree with them. I'm not saying that a discussion of differing viewpoints should be completely avoided. Just know when it's appropriate to have your input. Nobody likes being told when they are wrong, especially if there's usually a lack of evidence behind a lot of claims, without actually asking for another opinion first. And in my opinion, unless you are trying to respectfully help someone, it is both wrong and arrogant to force your opinions on others directly just to go against them for the sake of being right, as I usually see with many subjects like entertainment and sports, or more controversial topics like politics and religion. Remembering this is a great way to avoid arguments, and I say this through personal experience. So spending your time arguing with someone else on a friend's post is also incredibly disrespectful to your friend, even if you didn't intend for it to be. They should not have to deal with nonsense on their own post, and neither should you. In addition, it is also a complete waste of your precious time that could be used doing something much more productive. As a great and very wise man by the name of David Anderson taught me, it is completely pointless to spend your time arguing with anyone because at the end of the day, people are still going to believe whatever they want to anyway. And David, I want to say that I really appreciate all of your wise teachings and logical philosophies on life. It helps me more than you may ever know and has certainly helped me immensely. David was also great enough to put up with a lot of my early bad social media habits of running down myself almost all the time between 2010 and 2012. I would not have blamed him or anyone else in the absolute slightest if they would have wanted to block me for all my nonsensical, attention-seeking and negative behavior. But, just like all my other great friends, He stuck by me and helped inspire me to become better. David told me several times to believe in myself and gave me helpful reminders, which I actually have saved in a special memories folder because of how much I appreciate it. Thank you for all this, David. I will never forget what you did for me, for giving me the wake-up call that I needed, and for helping me become wiser and think more logically. I will always appreciate all of this very, very much. David, you're an absolutely tremendous person, and I appreciate all the great things that you do and all the wisdom that you share. I hope that everything is always well for you, your dogs, and everyone else close to you. Good on you, man, and thanks again for everything. I really hope that one day I can become even half the great, responsible, and successful person that you are in life. Well done. So this brings me to my next point. Another problem that many people have, including me several years ago as I just mentioned, is that they feel the need to seek attention from others when something is sad or missing in their lives. Now, there are certain important things that are worth bringing attention to, such as looking for a family member, urgent medical assistance for yourself or a loved one, or looking for other support if you legitimately need help with something. I understand that. However, many people post negative and sad things about their lives just to get attention to help ease the problem, and then will continue again in a cycle. I know how this works because I used to behave that way myself. I would put myself down on a daily basis, and while the encouragement I got helped me immensely, it is disappointing behavior and disrespectful to your friends who want to log in and read about better and happier things, not have to put up with constant negativity. And in reality, complaining about your life online is not going to help. What does help is getting out there, working hard, and attempting to make the positive change that is desired. Now, to all the people out there who may be listening right now, who don't care about behaving properly, who actually dedicate their accounts to trolling, talking absolute nonsense, and sending out angry and hateful messages on a daily basis in an attempt to bring others down to feel superior, and those who feel like they can say whatever they want without any consequences because you have the safety of a screen and Wi-Fi to hide behind, I would suggest that you go and seek professional help through counseling and go find something meaningful to work towards in life. And take a good, hard look at yourselves and ask, is how I'm behaving exactly how my parents envisioned for me? Because that's exactly what my thought process is for all the online trolls and fools out there. In fact, that's a legitimate question I have actually asked people like this before. Make an effort to educate yourselves and make the proper effort to be the best person you can be in every way possible. The sad thing is, I feel that there are way too many people out there who just don't care about any of this, and I think that it is up to all the good people out there who actually care to make this type of behavior irrelevant by helping others become better and not giving any further attention to people who simply don't deserve it, and not by stooping to their level and repeating their bad habits. So, what I like to do in order to help make my experience and everyone else's experience better is to stick to posting about great life experiences, a little bit of friendly, clean humor occasionally, any wisdom that I feel like I can share, not just from myself but other people, and amazing accomplishments and inspirational stories from friends or professional athletes who work as hard as they can, who fight hard, and give it their all to be the best that they can. Important and meaningful things that matter in life, and not focusing so much on things that just don't matter. Especially since many great people have given me the honor and pleasure of being their friends and following me, I feel like that it's a responsibility to help make them feel great as much as I can, and for everyone to not get sick of what I post about. I do think it is a good idea to keep a limit on the amount of self-portraits and hashtags, because too many of either of those things can be a bit annoying, in my opinion. I think it's great to be able to post something more meaningful that tells a story. Another great thing to do, instead of just talking about yourself all the time, put someone else over and praise them before yourself. I tell you, whenever I show my appreciation towards people I admire, especially close friends, my goodness, it is such a wonderful feeling. As I said, to be able to make someone else feel great, especially if you're honest and genuine with how you feel, it's absolutely tremendous. When we use social media to connect with our loved ones, make new friends, help uplift others and make them smile, we share proud moments, share incredible personal accomplishments with each other, it's what makes this platform worth using. And this is my greatest social media story. As many people already know, particularly those who know me, I'm truly fortunate to have met my favorite actress by far and one of my favorite people in the whole world, Eva Longoria, through Twitter back in 2014, and have remained great friends ever since. I went about my way to offer her kind words of encouragement and support without having to fill her timeline up, and wrote for her a sign to welcome her to Australia, which I sent out just once. Admittedly, I was extremely tempted to ask to meet her because it was my biggest dream to do so ever since I first discovered Eva back in 2007. But instead, I withheld and waited for Eva to ask me first because I felt like it was the only right thing to do, and because I realize and think about just how busy her schedule is, and I would have completely understood if she would have been too busy to see me, but I still wanted to show my support without expecting anything in return. And Eva, as well as her husband, both gave me some of the greatest and happiest days of my entire life, and I got to accomplish a dream of becoming friends with them because I love to become friends with people that I admire. In my opinion, there has never been a greater or harder working person than Eva, and the fact that she made so much time for me despite her busy schedule is absolutely phenomenal, and I will always be thankful for that. Great things can happen to you with truly special people, especially if you are considerate and put their needs before your own. And obviously, that goes for both social media and in person. And whether it is in person or on social media, Eva is the perfect example of how human beings should be conducting themselves, with pure class and dignity of the highest order. Eva, I know I say this many times, but thank you very, very much to you, as well as your incredible husband, for giving me all your time and for helping me become a better person. I will never be anywhere close to being as great as you in any way whatsoever, yet you still treat me as an equal in life, and that means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for all of your amazing kindness, support, and friendship. You have helped me become a much better person than I used to be, and I will always appreciate that very, very much. And of course, the other main success story on social media for me is getting to connect with many other truly incredible people worldwide, particularly from the United States and Mexico. The first main notable thing that actually happened to me on social media was getting the chance to meet all of my amazing friends through our video game fan group, and I'm very happy to have been able to keep in contact with most of them on a regular basis today. I absolutely love sharing 3-hour Skype sessions with my friends Kerry, Kamau, and Johnny, who I'm so close with that I consider them all as my brothers, because they are. We have loads of fun talking about fun things such as video games, films, TV shows, sports, and about many meaningful life philosophies, and just lots of important things in life that actually matter. I'm also truly thankful that I met my beautiful friend Dr. Amber Baker on Twitter, who runs her own psychology practice in California, and who created her own Go Friend Yourself podcast and website to help remind people to be kinder to themselves, each other, and offers tremendous advice on how to deal with adversity and struggles, and is also a huge mental health advocate. When I discovered her on Twitter by complete luck, Dr. Baker was often hosting her own streams to talk with anyone out there who needed some advice. And of course, every now and then there would be a troll that just had to say something completely inappropriate to her, and certainly there were some times where she would hear things that men should not be saying towards women. However, in her signature friendly way of handling things, she would just say, "Sorry everyone, let me just block that." She would then carry on as if that person was never even there. She would never run anyone down, never make a fuss, and never make an issue about anything. And the reason is because Dr. Amber understands the proper way to behave. I've also had the privilege of sharing a lot of deep and meaningful conversations with her, just like with many of my other close friends too, where we share with each other about meaningful and important things in life that actually matter. Amber, you're an absolute angel, and I appreciate your friendship very, very much. I can't wait to meet you one day, and thank you for all of your kindness, inspiration, and of course, give you a big hug. Thank you so much for being such an amazing role model, for helping so many people, and for contributing to help make this world a much better place. Thank you very much for everything that you do. I will always appreciate you very, very much. And to all my other amazing overseas friends who I didn't mention, I thank you very, very much for all of your amazing friendships and kind words that you've given me over the years. Whether we talk a lot or just occasionally, I appreciate each and every one of you for still being a part of my life in some way. And I appreciate that I get to see all of your amazing life accomplishments that you share, and I'm very, very proud of you. Thank you very, very much for making social media fun and for making social media a better place to be a part of. I want to see people behaving respectfully, responsibly, and professionally. Try to enjoy each other's company. Ignore those you dislike, and instead, use your time and energy to help make others feel better, because ultimately, that's what makes the world a better place. And don't forget to switch off from social media when you need to from time to time, to go and exercise, when jobs need to be done, and when other life responsibilities need to be taken care of. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. I hope it's been enlightening, and I hope it's been enjoyable to listen to. Take care, everyone, and be the best that you can be.